I
Hi.
Yes, Nandi ji. Please take over.
yeah, let join. Chandan is going to join shortly. So
Okay.
after that we are going to start. Okay.
Okay.
Hi Aditi,
Hi, Amrish. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
All well, जी. Thank you so
सब बढ़िया चंगा
much. सब चंगा जी, सब
सब
बढ़िया।
चंगा जी बढ़िया बढ़िया
यूपी में बहुत गर्मी पड़ रही है क्या?
हाँ यार 40 45 40 43 44
सुनने में आ गया। बच्चे
बहुत
की
ज्यादा यार
बार हो गई मैम, गर्मी लग गई मैम।
हीट वेव शुरू है
एक्चुअली यहाँ पर नहीं है ना, यहाँ अभी कंट्रोल्ड है वो थंडरस्टॉर्म की वजह से।
हम्म यूपी इज
we are-
एक्सट्रीमली फेसिंग एक्सट्रीम हीट
तो यहाँ पे वही 35-36 है, बट वो तो बता रहे हैं बच्चे बड़े तंग है मैम हम।
ना ना यूपी में
हाँ,
यूपी में
यूपी में ठंड से
42
गर्मी।
43 क्रॉस है
हाँ, फिर तो हो जाती है ना जो बच्चा।
यहाँ तो एक्सट्रीम है भाई
Hi,
हरियाणा
Aditi. Good
बढ़िया
evening.
Hi, good evening, Chandan. How are you?
Absolutely fine. How are you doing?
All well, ji. Thank you.
Great, great. So,
It's
shall
for
we
you actually.
start? Yeah. Hello.
Chandan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, I can.
So we can start.
Yeah,
हाँ
we can,
Aditi,
we can,
Yeah.
we can. Yeah. So, welcome, Aditi, and thank you so much for joining. So, just to brief you, like we have started this new initiative, Sampark, and the objective is to be in touch base with our members one to one to understand the things how the sector is the moving the current transition or the current challenges or how what are the good things, what are the things that require more attention geography wise, district wise, wheresoever,
Hmm.
primarily to understand what are the the major challenges being an organization, being a leading organization you perceive in the sector. What are the area you feel like Southern needs to intervene, whether it's a policy part, regulatory part, capacity building part, whatsoever you feel like Southern should intervene. And
Hmm.
in terms of the geography and all, what are the better things? Because I think Satin's major portfolio in the state of UP, Bihar, as well as other states, so closely more than I guess 20 states. So that's the overall objective of this Sampark initiative to understand more. Post this call, we will share the minutes of this conversation, and we will also share the action taken from Southern at regular interval. Another objective is like on 3rd of June, we are meeting the Deputy Governor, DOR. So we would also like to understand again, of course, like of course we have those points, the important points like to be taken up with the Reserve Bank, but being a we would like to understand from you also like how we can plan the things and what are the key area. That's primarily we want to understand the area of concern, the kind of support you feel that Saturn should plan and to work closely. That's exactly the point is because we meet normally at like we keep organizing a lot of activities. Recently, we met in our this Sankalp in April. But the objective is like to be connected at regular interval briefly and just to plan action plan and get it done. So that's the overall thing, Aditi.
Okay. So you don't have any pointed questions for me. It's going to be a generic discussion. Is that correct, Chandan?
Yeah, primarily it's a kind of generic discussion, Aditi. Like we want to understand more since you know the challenges at particular geography, if there is any, better
Hmm.
than us.
Hmm.
It might be in the state of Punjab, UP, and all the states have different set of challenges. That is
Hmm.
on the operation part.
Hmm.
Maybe on the regulatory part, we understand, but we want to know more from you, like what are the things that you want Southern to take up. It's more to understand the expectation of our members
Hmm.
from Southern, and we would like to act on that and come back to our members. Like this is how the things are progressing.
Sure,
Also,
Chandan.
also some of the suggestion, maybe you can provide better suggestion so that we can take it to various concerned stakeholder also.
Absolutely.
Get that. So I think I will broadly speak about the sector. So currently, one challenge that is being faced by many is that of the liquidity support that the sector requires and the qualifying asset. So these are the high level on the balance sheet side issues. And I remember it was discussed during our meeting last time, the roundtable meeting that we had, that I think qualifying assets, there may be something positive coming, or they will be removing cash, either way. So one is that request, I think, where we will appreciate a support. Then comes to the liquidity. So even earlier I said, when I say liquidity and I said we have to be a part of any industry, it is not just that the DFS is looking at us and talking to us very frequently, is not what I meant.
True.
What I meant was, if there is an MSME ministry, there is a dedicated funding line, which currently is missing, whether it's in the form of a credit guarantee or it's in the form of a dedicated, and at the same time, I would say, if there are differential interest rates, nothing like it. Why? Because even today, when we even looked at the Sadhan's prescribed format of the rate of interest, we are actually not making money. The only, if at the rate we are lending, we are not making money. So our NIMs have to be better, because credit cost is here to stay. Operating cost will be elevated because of whatever measures. So this is why I can see the smaller firms struggling, because the larger firms are still being profitable on account of the large economies of scale, and they have some good capital. So it's actually, we are earning on the capital, liquid capital part, equity, and DA. The major business interest income alone, you can do the math. I think we also share with you, is not being profitable at all. So this is one thing. So, and I really appreciated that formula. It cannot be one size fits all, that everyone should be reducing interest rates. We have to look it in the context. So yes, the context is whether it is the cost of holding money, the OPEX, the credit cost, and then you look at where you are landing and you are not making money. So if there can be a differential pricing where we can have the NIMs to support a business growth, because otherwise the sector will be continuing to shrink like it is today. So these are, I believe, the high level policy, and Sadhan is already doing such initiatives. I'm just reiterating those, because we have to, I think we are at the time where we have to just hit it to the end, is why I'm repeating that. Third is on the operational part. See, sector remains challenging, and we do not expect Sadhan. Like I was just, before you joined, Chandan, I was talking to Ambrish, oh, it's hot and the boys are having a tough time. Of course, I do not expect Sadhan to come to the rescue for that. These are the operational challenges or the kind of business we are in. But the challenges on the good practices, whether it is the implementation of guardrails and who is following, who is not, because the problem this time, we all know, was some people are following these regulations to the T, and others are simply ignoring. So if we can have, and we did discuss about evergreening and everything, and I'm not even using any politically correct language here. So I think those issues are also where Sadhan can intervene. Rest. This is the sector we are in. Yes, we have to face it. It will be too hot, too cold, too rainy, too windy, and there will be some challenge somewhere, etc. So I believe these, and at our level, we are also trying to increase the cashless collection part. So that also can be helpful for the sector, because if there is any issue and you cannot reach the client, I think for those smaller companies who do not have the wherewithal, whether they do a sub KUA or for a better onboarding, or then they are using whatever measures are there for a increasing the ramping up the cashless collection. That's all pretty much. Rest you are all doing. I think the DEA financial literacy workshops, I understood that even you want to have a relook at the content, looking at the feedback. I totally welcome this initiative from you, that yes, we should be taking feedback and evaluating and evolving. Beyond this, I do not
Yeah.
have much to ask.
So yeah, no, thanks, Aditya. That's just really important. I think a few points. This credit guarantee from different ministry. I remember you suggested this during Sankalp also,
Yes.
and a few more things which I would like to understand. What is the cashless percentage of Satin? I mean, any tentative number if you can
It is
tell
currently
me?
12 to 13%, but internally we are taking to ramp it up by 50. And yes, there are challenges. Chandan, happy to share our learning so that others.
True.
There are a few challenges. One is we cannot do e-Nash. Reason being the bouncing charges are very high.
Mhm.
So for a 1200 EMI broadly is what we have. If the customer is will be charged 300 bouncing, no, she will not appreciate it. And she will not understand when you go for the next collection or that this is also added in the EMI. So
True.
then we have only come up to the conclusion that UPI 2.0
Mhm.
and through BBPS we can ramp up. Currently, maximum collection of hours are coming from the website and the QR code which we give on the loan card. So these
Ah.
measures help. But UPI 2.0 was more expensive. So we are reworking at the numbers and negotiating it so that because all the cost, of course, has to be borne by us. Our customer does not understand why she's required to pay 5 rupee extra
True.
because she will just show me her loan card.
Of
And since I lead the collection, I'm still facing it. When RBI allowed moratorium in restructuring, so there was a morat interest. Till date, my customers are not saying, no, this was not on my original card. Are you looting me, etc. So their understanding is very limited to that aspect. But yeah, so 12 to 13%, which we are internally trying to ramp it up.
So
true.
do you feel there's some awareness program is more required so that there will be some differences coming, or sometimes not understanding properly means why it is going beyond that means for example installment has not because of the gone up because the last payment is not clear, etc., etc. That kind means kind of awareness as well as training you require or not, actually that I want to be.
I'm happy if you can train my 35 lakh borrowers and my
No,
best
no,
wishes
from
with
not
you.
our side, from your side also. I mean, if you can provide,
Whatever you
means
provide,
our is resources. We whatever we are doing, of course,
even
we'll
our
do. But
resources
from your
are
side,
limited, no?
True.
So
True.
as much as you repeat, you have to understand both the lack of awareness and the lack of intent which has now come in. Some people even fake the ignorance because this was on my loan card. While we are doing as much awareness, maybe it is a behavioral issue, behavioral problem, and it will take time to perhaps sink in, but you have to go with the flow and accept it.
Sure. So, Aditi, a few more things. Like in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, what's your experience? I mean, in terms of the client's behavior, in terms of the repayment, that is one. Second, how the things like because you have a good chunk of operation in Bihar where elections are due in the month of November. So are you facing anything? The point what I want to understand in the some key states like Punjab, UP, Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Maharashtra in different geography, are you facing challenges or any kind of political interventions where you feel like because we have been working closely even recently we in some of the districts of Maharashtra also we met the district administration and all we have come across some challenges in those parts. So how's your experience in the key states? Second, what's the AUM of Satin as on 31st March? That's like in terms of how you close the year, financial year, in terms of number,
Mhm.
and particularly any close engagement with because in Tamil Nadu, as you know, in addition to Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Home also come in the picture because of this coercive term and all because it comes under the law and
Mhm.
order issue and all. So now we have been trying to meet all sort of ministry as well, in addition to Ministry of Finance and other concerned ministries. So that exactly I just want to understand because there were some challenges earlier in Punjab, even in UP also a bit of. So how is your experience at in being the one of the largest organization?
See, small pockets have some challenges. You mentioned UP and Bihar and Punjab, which was earlier. So there also the difference was, Chandan, on account of the local government also. In UP, no matter what happened, the state government was largely supportive towards us. And so, in fact, the place like Kushinagar and Eastern UP, they had a challenge where even I think some small political leader tried to do a hunger strike and all. But I think since the state government was largely supportive, we could navigate that. Of course, it gave some dent. Not saying it did not. And that Karza Mukti thing, which was UP, some pockets of UP, some pockets of Punjab, some pockets of Rajasthan also, it did cause some dent. And that is the problem, because at that time, when you reach the local administration for support, their response depends. Like somebody would say, why are you here, etc. And then you have to explain to them you're an RBI
Understand, yeah.
regulated company and everything. I think, yeah, that's coming to the issue of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So, see, Karnataka is settling down and Tamil Nadu is also in control. But yes, Bihar, you're right. There are some issues which Bihar is facing. We are seeing challenges in many pockets. And in fact, uh, so we have split the Bihar in two circles. One of them is facing them more. Yes, Bihar mein hai. But Karnataka is settling. Tamil Nadu did not flare up. It remained under control.
Yeah, because that's exactly we have also come to know in Tamil Nadu and all. And
Hmm.
even in Tamil Nadu, I'm sure government was very clear, like they developed the business in every state. Karnataka did so. So that was the thing. In
Hmm.
Bihar, Aditi, can you suggest like which region, I mean, Mithilanchal, Simanchal, or any particular region you are facing major problem, or either nature of problem, I mean the KYC related, or any other, or the local leaders who are creating issue, so that we can plan our strategy accordingly?
So Bihar ke andar I can share a detailed split also later.
Okay, sure.
Broadly, like I said, it is one of the leaders, Abhijit Circle, where we are seeing the major challenges. And that I can share with you, which particular areas are those.
Sure, that would be helpful. That would be helpful,
Yeah.
Aditi, because Bihar
So,
is.
because issues are again the waiver, migration, ringleader, which is actually now leading to a lot of willful defaults. And the problem is that you acquire the client, everything is done properly and entire KYC, but I think they are mobilizing the whole group. And Katihar, Kishanganj, Gaya, Chhapra is where we are facing them more. And honestly, it is not elections. If you see even my last quarter,
Mhm.
we had given some commentary that Bihar is facing some issue. So Kishanganj, Kanch, Katihar, Gaya, and Chhapra is
Are the
where
area.
the major issues are lying.
True. And Aditi, the one important issue that you highlighted, that the qualifying asset and the liquidity support, these two are
Yes.
the major agenda that we are going to take up with the DG,
G.
even on 3rd of June. Even
Okay.
we have already written to all of them, the ministry also, and like how we can, facilitate the liquidity that really required, particularly the smaller MFI are struggling in terms of the liquidity part. We are also trying to take up the issue of like how other product could be come under microfinance loan, so that MFI could, de-risk the portfolio. So those are the key agenda that we are taking up with the DG. We are submitting a memorandum to the deputy governor on this part, and as you have rightly said, we are also really hoping and hopeful that something will come up for a qualifying asset part. One more thing we would like to understand, like, is there anything you feel like Sadhan can take up on the capacity building support part, the sensitization part, in particular geography to the borrowers, like in terms of the MFI, the way MFI operate, the guidelines of RBI just to sensitize them to prevent or mitigate the probability of default?
I think, yeah, this is welcome. Maybe a district level, state level, some initiatives for that. And that's pretty much it. And again, coming to the liquidity part, because see, thankfully, we have sufficient liquidity, and it could also be because the performance was well. So I'm not speaking for Satin when I say this, but you will not believe we receive so many of proposals to acquire the smaller MFIs. That's how bad it is.
Oh,
And I think I can at least name 6 offers I have seen on my desk. They were
okay.
all around 1,000 crore or below MFIs. So the fact that they are in market desperately wanting to be taken over, meaning there is a major stress. So and since Sadhan is one institution which cares about the smaller players, unlike others, that's why I'm highlighting this to you.
Yeah.
No, no, thanks, Riti. Thanks. That's really helpful. So, I think broadly, I've tried to cover any of my colleagues, Sanjana ji, Nandi, Amrin, any
Yeah.
other points?
So, Aditi, whatever data I have seen, that you have working 27 state, right? Out of which 3 state where you have more than 50% portfolio. Any specific reason you are not going to expand in other area? Means the existing means already means 20 out of 27, three is if you remove three, then there is a 24 state where you have not much more actually portfolio. Actually. Any specific reason
Business.
or confined to
The
three
reason is
established?
business. I can only work
100
where I
reason.
can work profitably, right?
Of
In
course,
South, my
of course.
rejections will be 85%. I cannot work. Odisha has challenges. How can I work, grow there? Rajasthan has
Mm.
challenges. I cannot grow there. Maharashtra always had challenges of the local interference. You cannot grow there. So where will you grow?
No,
No,
absolutely.
means my want means other also having good portfolio means maybe you have some specific reason that is why not expanding. That
So I
want
took
to.
specific reasons, no? For business reason. Where your performance is well, you will only grow there.
And also you have started in operation AP also means Andhra Pradesh. So although it's now.
Slowly, of course, it's a new state. We cannot. And Nandi, you have to see our organization has always been very conservative when it
Mm.
grows, very mindful. Our rejections have always been higher than the industry. So even if we think Andhra is maybe less penetrated, you will not see our 100 branches in 2 months. So that's how we grow. We grow slowly and very consistently. And we continue growing even during bad times. So
That's
I
fine.
think
I want to know what is your experience right now actually in AP because only some of
we
the few
have
MFI started operation out of which certainly
current
one.
portfolio will always be good. For the first 6 months, 9 months, you will not see anything. It is only after the seasoning happens, Nandi, when we see some results. And as soon as we opened, there were some issues, some news that came during in AP and Telangana also. So we have to be very mindful and grow accordingly.
True. And this is just on
Anything
one
from government
point.
side? Any issue from the government side, Aditi?
No.
And one last actually from my channel actually end. So you nowadays lot of issue is coming from the staff attrition. What is your actually in this regard? Means your staff attrition, what is the percentage and what we are facing in particular which state and which region mostly this kind of issue is coming?
This issue is everywhere, Nandi. This will remain. This will only go bad. And there are reasons for it. The customer behavior is changing. The boy will not want to go there again.
Hmm.
Now they have only children. So even the parents call them back.
Yeah.
When the war happened in Punjab, all the boys they went home because their parents said, "We don't want you to work. Come back. There's enough to eat." They can
Hmm.
always be
True.
Zomato delivery boys. So I cannot say that this issue is getting better. So we have to maybe see those who stick, how to retain them better, how to groom and mentor them better, and how to make our boys' life easier. Like I said, maybe cashless, maybe some capacity building, sponsoring their education, etc. is what we can do here.
I guess Satin is already supporting its staff through various ways. I think
Yes,
I
yes.
have seen on social media. That's
Yes.
really commendable on Satin's part of
We
it.
do
Yes,
a
yes,
lot,
Chandan.
Chandan.
Satin is having their in-house training institute also for training their mid-level managers. I
And
think
that's indeed
there's
commendable.
some MDB program.
Yeah, that's what we do. We lot of so of course their BBA, MBA we are sponsoring.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Then
I
even
have read about this
we
program,
have
Aditi.
even
Yeah.
Satin Sahyog where if any staff death happens while they are working with Satin, so we give pension to the family, education, insurance, all of this. Or in lieu of pension, we also either we give job to one of the family members. Even government doesn't do it anymore, but
Nice,
Mm.
Aditi.
yes, and
Yes, yes.
goes
And
without saying if any staff faces, even if it is a matter of 10 lakh, 15 lakh, we do not bother. We do not hesitate to look after our team. So we do look after our boys. So that's I think you can just look after them. And if they still want to leave, you can't do much beyond. Even we
And,
give pension to the parents also. So
yes,
we
10,000 rupees.
and Aditi, like
चंदन वन मोर थिंग,
please,
सैटिन
please.
में पूरे साल जो है रेगुलर वैष्णो देवी की ट्रिप होती है।
Mhm.
Khatu Sham, Vaishno
पूरे साल फैमिली के
Devi.
साथ फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट
अच्छा,
फ्रॉम टू दिल्ली। आपका बोर्डिंग, ट्रेवल, लॉजिंग, होटल, खाना सब सैटिन के हमेशा चलता है। इट्स अ
that's very
कंटिन्यूअस
nice.
ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस।
Har
That's
Mahina,
very nice.
every month, Khatu Sham and Vaishno Devi.
And
That's really
staff
nice.
welfare is more important. Then it will staff attrition will be helpful, right?
तो
So
ये
That is also on the
चलता
good
रहता है
area,
सैटिन
I
में।
believe.
And Aditi,
there
just
is
to
zero attrition in DRM level and above. And
Mm.
limited in BM, yes, CSO level, there is attrition. Because no matter what you do, if someone
इट इज
doesn't want,
एवरीवेयर आदिति।
हाँ वो रहेगा ना, वो नहीं उसको
good.
and don't blame them also. अब वो सुबह 7 से लेकर 7-8 बजे तक if they are
Agree,
working,
agree.
वो माँ बाप ही बोल
And,
देते हैं कि मत आओ, मत करो बेटा, आ जाओ.
and on the other hand, maybe they have a good opportunity, alternative opportunity, maybe nearby area, near to their
I
home.
said the Zomato, ye wo. So what we also do when some boy joins, we call the parents and we give them 500 rupees sari, satin samman to give them this respect that your boy is joining, call them to regional office. So we do a lot. Matlab, we don't even count what all we do for our boys. But yeah, that's all we can.
Neither from your side, anything?
No, but ma'am, actually, I'm in charge of Delhi NCR. So whenever I visit Satin offices, of course, they are always there, all the field officers with whom I speak. I love speaking to them. छोटा मोटा जो discussion होता है beyond this thing, microfinance and all. कभी कभी छोटा जो discussion होता है ना, like I ask somebody like बचपन का क्या ambition था, so he told कि वीरेंद्र सहवाग बनना था। मगर मतलब वो दवाई खाए थे, उनको नींद आ रही थी, फिर भी जैसे ही ये सवाल पूछा ना, so he jumped up saying, तो मतलब इस तरह के जो जब डिस्कशन होते हैं ना, दे फील मोटिवेटेड एंड व्हाई दे आर डूइंग, माइक्रो फाइनेंस में क्यों है एंड माइक्रो फाइनेंस क्यों था। सो इफ नो, इट इज ओनली दिल्ली एनसीआर का मैं एड्रेस कर सकती हूँ जितना जा सकती हूँ, बट बियॉन्ड दैट इफ यू थिंक कि अदर प्लेसेस का भी ऐसे ही एक ट्रेनिंग चिट चैट डिस्कशन कुछ होना चाहिए, देन यू कैन कनेक्ट मी विद द एचआर, बिकॉज इनका टाइम लेना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट टास्क है। ये एक मुझे डेट बता देंगे, देन वी कैन डू ए 1 hour सेशन अदर एरियाज के भी।
ठीक है, ठीक है. I think you are currently also reaching out to the HR directly, but I will also speak to the head HR myself.
या ओके,
Sure.
थैंक यू।
And
Thank
just to respond on this guardrail point, I completely agree. Like some MFI do comply with, some do not. So even this year, we are keeping a close eye. We are trying. We have been in regular touch and just trying to ensure that all the MFI, all our members, they should comply with for the sake of the sector. Like everyone, that would be good for the sector itself, and we will keep our members posted, like if there is any discrepancy or any deviation from that.
you.
That is a important area we are focusing on.
Appreciate it.
So, and with just to I mean any specific point, just from Sadhan you feel like Sadhan should get into or Sadhan should undertake, you are most welcome any moment of time, Aditi. You can reach out to any of us in Sadhan and let us know like what exactly you feel like Sadhan should immediately do to get into the things, proper ecosystem and also. We'll be happy to hear from you always.
Sure, Chandra.
And Aditi, this is not linked with this meeting although, but I have once sent a mail to collect some information regarding the what are the development and CSR activities undertaken by the MFI. So we are thinking to come out or compiling all this and come out with a document. So in this regard, we are collecting all information, this kind of information, and this will for the showcasing the good image of the sector to the various stakeholder. So I am expecting something from your side also.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Thank you, Aditi.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I guess
Thank you
thanks,
so
Aditi.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amrish, Chandan, Sangeeta. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you,
Bye.
Madam Chief.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.